Hello everyone, welcome to our Run and Become videos. Today, hot topic, the knee strengthening exercises. So, if you have any recent problems with your knees, some soreness, you might find it very useful. Unfortunately, having knee issues is quite common among the runners. Even I recently went through a time when my knee was quite dodgy and I couldn't even walk without the pain. But after incorporating the exercises we're going to show you in a second, after a few weeks of doing them, I was able to run again 5Ks without any problem. So these are tested in field exercises, which you might find helpful as well for your knee problem. So 3 beginners knee strengthening exercises are clam shell, wall sit, and a touchdown from a low height. And these are great for you if you just came back from any knee injury, or you have on and off injury like soreness of your knees, or if you are a senior. And the other 3 more advanced options of these exercises are a lateral bend walk, then we've got a Bulgarian split squat, and a touchdown from a higher height. And these are great for you if you don't have any knee problem right now, but you just want to strengthen your body to prevent any future injuries. If you're not really sure how strong your knees are at this moment, I would suggest to start from the beginner versions of these exercises and then just observe your body. If you feel that you're fine, don't feel any pressure on your knees, then you can move to more advanced options. Okay, so let's start with the 3 beginner exercises. First is clam shell. Probably most of you know how to do it. Just as a quick reminder, you have to lie on the side, and then your feet, hips and the shoulders must be in one line. The most important element of that exercise is scooping your belly. So while you lay down, you scoop your belly, and then you're opening your hips, your knees to the highest point possible, and then you're pressing it down. So that scooping your belly, it is very important element, so please do not forget about that. So I would suggest to do around 20 repetitions on each side. You can also hold the position with your knees open for like 2 or 3 seconds for an extra muscle engagement. Second exercise to strengthen your knees is a wall sit. It's a great option because especially if your knees are a bit sensitive, you don't want to put too much pressure on them, too much impact. So we should limit the flexion of your knees. So wall sit is a great option because you have a control of your knee flexion. So it's quite simple exercise. You have to stand against the wall, and then with the shoulder width stance, flex your knee, kind of like sit against the wall with the knee flexion. Not super low because that's going to put a bit more impact. So slightly higher, just do whatever feels right for you. Just keep in mind to keep your knees above your ankles. So we've tried to keep your shins vertical. And you should be able to hold that position for 45 seconds. Now, if that feels quite simple and easy for you, and you don't feel anything or very little, you can do a single leg version of this exercise. So you have to slightly shift your body weight, for instance, on the right side, and lift your left leg. And now you've got all your body weight on above just only one leg. So that's supposed to make that a bit more difficult to do. And again, you can hold for 45 seconds and obviously change your leg. The last exercise, which is great to strengthen your knees, is touchdown. Touchdown is a variation of a single leg exercise. you need a bit of elevation to do that exercise. So that's why I have a step with me. If you have a step, take it now. But however, if you don't have it, you just need some kind of elevation, even 2-3 inches to do this exercise. So it is possible to do without a step as well. So what you have to do, step with one leg only on that elevation. And now you're going to bend your left knee, you're going to straighten your right leg, you're going to flex your foot. And now you're going to do a single leg squat with touching your heel to the ground, and you go up. The main thing is that the knee flexion of your left leg is very minimal. So your shin is supposed to stay as vertical as possible. The whole movement comes with your hip going backward like this. So this is the right way, not this. I hope you can feel the difference. So your knee not supposed to bend as much. Instead, just shift your hip backwards. Just think about your hips. The hips move backwards like this. The important thing as well is to think about your left leg. If you step on the left leg on that elevation, just try to control your knee in a place. So when you bend your knee, just control that knee to not shifting too much sideways. You can do that also by engaging your glutes a bit more. So once you're going to engage your glutes, think about stabilizing your knee, and then in slow motion, shifting your hips back, and you're going up. That's supposed to give you that extra stabilization. I'd suggest to do around 10 repetitions of each leg, and you can do 2 or 3 rounds of this exercise. Just observe your body, especially if your knees are a bit more sensitive, so you're not going to overdo it. So we finished the beginner exercises, which are great if your knees are still quite sensitive, you're a bit worried about them, so they have very limited knee flexion, less impact, less pressure on the joints. But now we're moving to more advanced versions of those exercises, so they're great if your knees are absolutely fine, you just want to strengthen your body to prevent from having any future injuries, for example. Okay, so the first exercise we did in the beginner versions was Clam Shell. So the progression of that exercise is a lateral band walk. So we need a band for this exercise. If you have a glute band, you can use that as well. Otherwise, you can use a Ferra band, blue or black. And you have to just fasten it around your legs, just above the knees. Quite tight. So you can really feel the pressure of the band trying to squeeze your knees. That's why it's quite important to make sure that your knees are constantly pushing the band away from your body. And now you're going to a half squat position, and you do steps sideways to the left. Like that. And then, of course, once you do around 10 steps, you can move to another direction. So going back to the start point. Just make sure that the bend tension is all the time there, so don't lose it. So don't make steps too big. So I suggest to do around minimum 10-15 steps to one side and then going back, or around 20 seconds each side. And again, you can do 1, 2, 3 rounds of that exercise. Second exercise is Bulgarian split squat. So in the beginner version, we were doing the wall sit. Now we're gonna do a single leg squat, variation of single leg squat. We need a chair for that, so you can bring a chair, kind of like similar to your knee level, that's fine. Place one leg on it. I wouldn't flex my toes like this, I would just completely put my foot like that. And now find a balance. Keep your chest up and proud, and now slowly in control motion, squat, and go back up again. So there are two important things to remember when you do Bulgarian split squat. First is the fact that most of your body weight is supposed to be on front side, so front leg, not the leg which is elevated. So that's why you have to make sure that the distance of your front leg from the chair is quite decent. So now when you squat, I can feel that most of my body weight is on top of that leg. The other thing is also a width stance. Make sure that the right leg is slightly kind of like continuation of your shoulder line. So when you squat, you feel balanced and stable. And now you can do repetitions, around 10 repetitions of each leg. And again, you can do between 1 to 3 rounds, depends how does it feel. Also, you can do it in the body weight, like I do right now, or you can take weights as well. So the last exercise we want to show you is touchdown again. However, not in like 2-3 inches elevation, but as you can see, a bit higher. It's about 10 inches height at this moment, which for me feels absolutely fine. However, adjust the height to your needs. So again, step on the elevation. If it's step, that's great. Otherwise, just find any kind of stable elevation you can create at your house. And again, remember, the movement doesn't come from the knees, the movement comes from the hips. So flex your foot and then touch the ground. Again, I'm focusing on my hips shifting backwards, and I'm also focusing to keep my knee completely stable without moving it sideways when I bend it. And again, you can do 10 repetitions on each leg, and you can do between 1 to 3 rounds, whatever feels right for you. That's all what we prepared for you. Thank you so much for joining us. Please listen to your body, do not push, choose the right level of the exercises for you. If you have any questions or comments, please leave them below. Otherwise, see you next time. Hello everyone, welcome to our Run and Become video.
Sorry guys, we're filming!
Barbara, could you please be quiet? Thank you. Or knees. So, if you have some recent soreness, niggles in your pain, in your